I guess, what if series are going to start being a trend for Disney shows. They already have a Marvel what if series, and now there's been reported talks about a Star Wars what if series. And who knows? Is it going to be a good thing? Is it going to be a bad thing? And are almost all shows on Disney Plus gonna start having what if series? And do other franchises start to follow this trend if it starts to take off? My thing is that does every franchise, does every comic book, pop cultural thing start to get a what if series now? Because a lot of people start, their theories on when an episode comes out or where there's a cameo at the end of something. We all start to theorize and think, what if blah blah blah? What if that? What if it's this? And I guess the big corporations, the big Hollywood juggernauts are kind of listening to us and are like, you know what? We're just going to make a series about all those type of theories that you guys have. And let's start by making a what if series. Real plain, simple, and to the point. We're going to be going on Twitter and basically just seeing what all the talk is about the Star Wars what if stuff. Kind of curious to know why Mia Khalifa is trending right now, but we got to stay focused, boys. Star Wars What If is good for some dumb Photoshop jokes, but I'm not sure a real series is a great idea. This fandom is bad enough as it is, so looks like this guy is not really a fan. My issue is this right here. I feel that Disney has something good with Marvel's What If series, right? The issue could be that them thinking that it's going to work for basically everything. And if they think it's going to work for everything, then, that's not really a good mindset to have. We got to make it make sense here. So having a Star Wars What If series, I feel personally, is a good idea. Most people may not agree because, they may have the same opinions as this guy saying that the fandom is bad enough already as it is. But there are a lot of good theories that people come up with that maybe Lucasfilms could take inspiration off of. Disney is reportedly developing a what if version of Star Wars. Oh, let's see the comments on this. What if Qui-Gon Jinn lived? Yeah, of course. A lot of people do want to know what if Qui-Gon Jinn lived. I feel like Qui-Gon Jinn was a super dope character, and I feel like he was a little bit wasted. I can see why they had to kill him off. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn was literally gonna be on Anakin's side no matter what, and he probably could have stopped Anakin from going to the dark side. There's been so many theories about Qui-Gon Jinn, if he lived, how he could have just altered the entire freaking timeline. But I would like to see what they do if the What If series ends up happening for Star Wars. We need What If Darth Vader didn't die? Okay. Probably need to be more details behind that, because what if he didn't die, being like, how is he going to avoid death? Does he end up killing Luke Skywalker? Does, he end up escaping with Luke Skywalker from the Death Star? How could this all plan out here? When you look at the MCU one, you just know they're gonna pick boring shit nobody wants to see. Who knows? I don't know personally what they're going to do. I don't even know if they're actually going to try and do the What If series. I'm just 50-50. I feel like it's going to work, but then I feel at the same time it's going to possibly fail. More opportunities for Disney to ruin Star Wars. What a joy. I feel like nobody is optimistic about this. Nobody is like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Why not make a what if series for Star Wars? What could possibly go wrong? And everyone just feels like it's going to go wrong. And they're making me lean towards their side a little bit because, the fans usually know what's right, all right? Most of the time. And the big Hollywood corporations like to just ignore that. So it's like I want to lean towards more on the fan side, but I want to be optimistic about, the big Hollywood companies finally trying to put something together that Star Wars fans might like, because we don't really get a lot of Star Wars content like that. At least not enough. What if the sequel trilogy was retconned and good? Wow. What if Jar Jar was a Sith Lord the whole time? I feel like, you want to know something crazy? For shits and giggles, they would probably do a Darth Jar Jar type of episode for What If. And there's been so many Darth Jar Jar memes that I'm pretty sure, if they go through, if they greenlight the What If series, a Darth Jar Jar episode is definitely going to happen. It may just be like a joking type of one, or it may be a super serious type of one. So I feel like they're definitely thinking about a Darth Jar Jar type of episode. If this is greenlit. Someone said episodes 7, 8, and 9 are what ifs. They're not canon. Look, I don't think episode 7, The Force Awakens, was a bad movie. I think it was a solid movie. The Last Jedi, trash. The Rise of Skywalker, garbage. I will agree on that. But The Force Awakens was a pretty decent Star Wars movie. It's actually a really good Star Wars movie. I feel like we throw that in the pile of crap that The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker are in, and I don't feel like The Force Awakens belongs in the same pile of dookie that, you know, the other two films are in. So I think we should separate that. The Force Awakens is actually a good Star Wars movie, but it is the only good Star Wars movie out of the sequel trilogy. What if the Emperor made a clone of himself who somehow escaped, had a kid with some random person, then that kid grows up and kills the Emperor or another clone of the Emperor? Sounds a little confusing. What if Anakin didn't convert to the dark side? I mean, this is like, come on, guys. This is going to already possibly be an episode because Disney wants to put their own twist on how Anakin would be if he didn't go to the dark side. Who knows? There's like multiple different outcomes of Anakin didn't go to the dark side on what he would do. So who knows? What if a master of hand-to-hand combat, Ahsoka Reeves, is a member of a band of Clan Kryze Mandalorians striking back at the Imperial Remnant? I mean, the concept art looks pretty dope. I don't know. Just based off of the concept art, it kind of looks interesting. What if Disney made all their series with the same quality as Andor? Ugh. Look, man, Andor, I feel like it's pointless. I get that how Star Wars' structure is kind of like, we're going to give you guys these movies, and then we're going to come out with shows so that way you guys can understand what happens in between these movies. But the issue is, right, when they do that, the movies feel like they're so separate from the shows, even though the shows are supposed to tell you what kind of happened in between. It's kind of like for the Clone Wars, for example, right? The Clone Wars comes out after the prequel trilogy, right? And if you look at episode 3, you would never know that the events of the Clone Wars, Ahsoka being present, Darth Maul being present, you would have never known that any of that stuff was happening because they made it feel like it was so separate from each other. Revenge of the Sith and then all the events in the Clone Wars leading up to each other kind of just doesn't connect a little bit, and it's a little bit weird that they have to make a final season years after for them to be like, all right, I know it kind of looks like Revenge of the Sith doesn't have anything to do with the Clone Wars because the Clone Wars events are so significantly different leading up into that point. But in order for us to make sense, let's just come out with a final season so that way it looks like, hey, this actually did happen. What if Palpatine wasn't elected? 100% got to be one of the episodes. If Palpatine wasn't elected, would it have been a lot more easier to find out that Palpatine was kind of behind the Clone Wars, right? Probably would have been a little bit easier, but I don't know. Palpatine is a super smart dude. The man literally deceived an entire galaxy to think that a real war between the Separatists and the Republic was going on. All right? That's some top tier manipulating shit. What if they don't? I mean, if they don't, then, you know, we're just going to be sitting here waiting for more Star Wars content to kind of come out. And we've been waiting a pretty long while for things to come out. Who knows? We actually have a whole array of movies that are going to be coming out, which is The Mandalorian Grogu. We have Dawn of the Jedi. I think we have 2 more films, and I can't quite put my finger on what the other 2 films are going to be. But I know we're getting Star Wars movies coming out now, so we have something to look forward to a little bit. This What If series thing, who knows if it's actually going to happen? It's a whole lot of just talks right now. If Star Wars ends up confirming something, then hey, that might be pretty good. Or it might be pretty bad. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave down your honest thoughts if Lucasfilm should probably go ahead and make a What If series, or they probably should not even try to make a What If series. Honest thoughts, honest opinions. Leave a like on this video. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for watching.